name is Destiny Johnson, and I am the Financial Literacy Assistant here at the Financial Literacy Program. Today, we'll be discussing students' view on living on a budget. The next 10 minutes, we'll be discussing from our student, who I'll let her introduce herself, on her experience budgeting while in college. Can you please state your name, your major, and your academic level?
Hi, my name is Diane Young. My major is psychology with a minor in Africana Studies, and my class level is graduating senior, 4th year.
On behalf of the Financial Literacy Program, we want to thank you for coming out to discuss your views on budgeting. I'm going to go ahead and start with the first question. All right, what is a budget and when did you first create one?
For me, a budget is figuring out basically a list of wants and needs. I didn't personally start creating a budget until my junior year of college. But for me, it's a list of wants and needs from the monthly income I receive every month in order to provide food for myself, to pay bills, and to have money for extracurricular activities afterwards.
Cool, great. Okay, let's move on. So, the next question. How would you describe your monthly budget?
So my monthly budget is definitely, I work on campus and I get paid once a month. So I have to take that money that I receive for the month and basically allot myself a certain amount. So my rent, on my wants and needs list, my rent comes first. And then utilities such as like phone bill, Wi-Fi, things like that we have in college, and then food. And from that, I subtract what I will need for the month, how much groceries will cost me a month. Usually I try to see, is this going to last me a month? And then my wants list is stuff that, I'm going to hang out with my friends. It probably costs $20 to go to the movies, or if we're going to go out and have dinner, how much is that going to cost?
Great, cool. Okay, so next question. What is difficult or easy in creating your personal budget?
The thing about that's so difficult for me is just not overdoing it with the wants, not over spending too much money eating out or spending too much money going to the movies with friends. So what I try to do is say, okay, I can only go out and splurge myself maybe twice a month. I mean, because I am a college student, so I don't have that much money to go out every weekend. And then what's easy about creating your budget is it gives yourself goals and things that you might want to have, like, I want to see this concert in a couple months, so let me make a savings account for this.
Okay, so it's kind of like delayed gratification and living within your means.
Yes,
cool,
definitely.
Cool. That sounds great. Okay, next question. So, how often do you review your budget, and is it difficult to stay on track?
I review my budget every single month because, like I said earlier, I only get paid once a month. So that money, once it's gone, is gone. I have to wait a whole nother month for another paycheck. It is difficult. I noticed that's why it was hard for me to start my freshman and sophomore year because I was immature. So I'd rather go out and party and then ask my mom for money and hopefully she would get it to me instead of saying, hey, as an adult, these are the responsibilities we have. I need to pay these bills first, and then whatever's left, then I can do with that. So it is kind of staying difficult on track, especially if you're not used to budgeting yourself and creating, this is my financial stability, what I can't go out of my means. If you're not used to that, especially coming to college, you don't know. What is this money? What am I going to have for this?
Yeah, but how often do you actually review your budget to make sure you're on track?
Every week.
Oh, wow.
So
great.
4 or 5 times a month, I guess, is 4 weeks in a month.
Great. Okay, well, next question. What is the most important aspect of your budget while you're in college?
For me, the most important aspect is just knowing what you're getting. A lot of us college students, we receive financial aid. So any money back from that, I already calculate in my budget at the beginning of the year to expand me for the 5 months that I'm going to be in school. But definitely the most important thing is just making sure that my bills are paid with financial aid, and then what the money I receive each month. How I'm going to map all that out to be able to pay my bills and live comfortably, and then, like I said, splurge on the additional stuff.
Okay. That sounds great. Okay. Well, next question. What are the benefits of having a budget while you're in college?
Honestly, it shows you're an adult now, and just being more responsible. And a lot of, like, for me, I have to be organized sometimes, and like once you start organizing yourself financially, then the rest just kind of falls into place.
Kind of lines together.
Yeah, with the classes and stuff like that. And it just shows, like, okay, like I can really put a goal towards this, and that eventually at the end of the year, some people in college, we need cars. Oh, I could afford a car now, or I can afford to take a trip after I graduate, or I could just afford this now. It gives you a like a safety net.
Yeah,
like,
I hear that, security and very much so empowerment, right? To take control of what's going on.
Definitely.
Great. Okay, well, next question. What is the one thing you wish you would have knew about your finances before college?
I wish somebody would have sat down with me and talked to me about a budget for sure, and just how to balance my money and do that wants and needs list, like I was saying. Because when I first got financial aid in college, I was at the mall, I was buying food, like I was just not really taking care of the stuff that our financial aid is for, like for books and stuff. So then by the time the month was over, I was like, oh, how am I going to afford my books?
Yeah.
How am I going to pay the rent for the next couple of months? How am I going to eat now? Because I went to Red Lobster when I should have just went to the grocery store, you know?
Yeah.
So I wish someone would have taught me, like, hey, if this amount of money is going to come to me, then how would I be able to, like, balance that out? Because you just get it that once at the first of the year, and then it seems like a whole lot of money, and you get a little ahead of yourself.
Yeah, that's important. A lot of students don't really know what to do with their money when they first come in. So that educational piece right when you first come in is what a lot of students are lacking. But it seems like you're doing a great job. So I really definitely commend you on all the things that you're doing.
Thanks.
Yes. Okay, next question. Do you think budgeting is good for all students to know, and why?
Yes, definitely. Because whether you're a student that comes in, whether you have to work or your parents give you money a month, once you graduate, you step into the financial world seriously. I mean, some people's parents still might pay for it, but at that point, a lot of parents are like, we already got you this degree, you're on your own. So just knowing how to be able to, by budgeting and stuff, how to know how to afford a house, how to know if, like, oh, can I get a better deal getting a car? Even people, college students, we get a lot of credit cards. Like, how do you budget? How do you use that? Are you going to go to the mall with that, or are you going to use that for emergencies? So I think everybody, some point in their life, should definitely, I think, like, honestly, that's something they should teach you in high school before you even get out of that. But in college, for sure, they need to know about budgeting, like, early, ASAP.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all of that. Okay, well, next. So, what tips do you have for other students that maybe want to start a budget?
So definitely it's just seeing what you make a month. Like, if you have a job, how many hours do you work? How much is your monthly income going to be from, you know, your job or your parents, or just from financial aid? And then going ahead with that, my favorite thing, that wants and needs list. What do I want this month? What do I really need, though? Putting that, do I need new clothes for work, or do I want to just hang out with my friends and spread? Just like balancing that out like a pros and cons list. And then that could be a starter to say, okay, I want to save for this, I want to do for this, I want to dissect like what I'll eventually have. So definitely start looking at your wants and needs. Definitely see how much you make a month in order to budget yourself, and try to look for like a future plan. Like, oh, 2 years from now, I want to be financially stable for this. Like, I know, you know, maybe they want a new car. Maybe they want, you know, new shoes, a watch, something nicer, just for that. Definitely that wants and needs list is big for me.
Yeah, so it's really about setting those priorities and setting those long-term and short-term goals. Okay, yeah, great. Okay, well, now we're going to go into our last remarks and takeaways. Specifically, what I have, understand needs versus wants. Okay, this is basically what Diane is saying. You have to understand what you need versus you want, and not to blur them in between. So maybe making a list, like the pros and cons list, or something that you can set priorities with, can help you in the long run. Understand what your budget is for and what you're saving for, right? So that's the second one on the list. Making sure that you actually have something in mind for where your money is going. Letting your money work for you is very important. But it all starts first with you making the decision on what you want to do it and what you want to use it for. Okay, 3. Create a plan and set savings goal. So, for example, if you are looking forward to spring break and you want to go on a trip, actually setting a plan and saying how much money you want to set aside for the trip each week can actually help you get there. 4. Pay yourself first. Set up automatic payment. So when you're paying yourself first, basically is when you get your income, making sure that you're taking out each month for savings. And it really helps if you have an automatic transfer. So literally once your money hits your direct deposit, it automatically gets ciphered from there into your savings account. And this can help you keep track. 5, live within your means. We're all college students, so it's very important that we live like we're college students. Let's not buy things that we cannot afford. Okay, 6, even when it seems difficult, keep at it. A budget is not something that is going to be made overnight. You have to work at it, and sometimes you'll get off track, but the most important thing is to stay consistent. Sometimes it will get hard and will get difficult, but making sure that if it's something that is very important to you, that you stay focused. Okay. If you have any other questions or if you want any other resources, please do not hesitate. Contact us or like us or follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram is #CSUN Financial_Literacy. You can like us on Facebook, which is CSUN Financial Aid and Scholarships Department, or subscribe to our YouTube and watch lots of videos, and that is CSUN Financial Literacy. So I hope you enjoyed this webinar, and we definitely want to thank Diane for being a part of this, and we also want to thank everybody who logged in to watch. Keep watching and budget on.